Morning, everybody. It's Miss Ruth, Miss Sarah, and we're looking at God's creation. We're talking about the early part of the Bible, Genesis, and we looked at plants and trees. And last week we focused on corn because it was Indigenous Sunday, wasn't it? That was fun. So we learned a lot about corn. And today we're going to be talking about animals. So this is one of them. We have a lot of puppets. We love puppets, don't we? We sure do. So this is a porcupine. And that's something you don't see around here very much. But if you go up in the Lake Huron area, you see them, and they've got these pointy quills. And sometimes they're near the road. We don't like to see that. But the First Nations people do use the quills to make beautiful quill boxes. They dye them, and they're gorgeous. So this is one of the animals of this area of Southern Ontario. And we're going to be looking at puppets and how to make some today. So that's fun, okay? So our song today is one that our Sunday school class knows really, really well. It is God Made the World. So here we go. There's a lot of words to this, and we get mixed up sometimes. Do our best. Okay, we're going to look at our poster now, and it is on the trees and things that we talked about last time in the plants. You can see cabbage and beets and carrots in there, and these are things that we are harvesting out of our gardens right now, and it is all part of God creating the earth, the world. So we'll go back to the very beginning on our flannel board. So God created light first, and there was darkness, and we have the moon and the stars shining, and of course the sun bringing energy to the earth, and that is how we ended up having plants. So we have all these plants that are growing, and we'll show it this way. So we've got flowers and rocks, and then the mountains were formed. This is all part of the earth. And there were such a variety of mountains and hills and all kinds of plants and trees. So we've got fruit trees, and I'm in the sunshine, so we're going to take the night away. And we've got more and more bushes and trees. Let's put it over here. And then the water was created. So there were big oceans, and there were brooks and rivers and all kinds of water. And God looked at all the plants and all the water, and he said, it's really, really quiet. We need something going on here. So in the water, that's where we have all the water life. So we've got big animals like the whales, and we've got sea turtles and sea anemone and clownfish and crabs and lobsters and starfish and all kinds of things, more than anyone can imagine. We're still discovering things that are in the ocean. And then on land, we've got big animals, small animals, insects. So big animals like the elephant is a great big one. We don't see the elephants walking around here. They're just in Africa or India. But the bigger animals we see around here are probably the bears and the cougars. And then we have domestic animals, such as our cats and our dogs. And then we have these little rodents. They're showing you a small little mouse right on the trunk of this elephant. So we have the whole food chain going on, so that that the animals have something to eat, whether it's vegetable matter or animal matter. And then on the land we've got also the sky area. So we have birds. So we've got birds like parrots. We've got birds, you know, that we see like seagulls around the Great Lake area. And then there's flamingos if you go down into the southern United States and so on. So we have all these creatures on the earth, and God saw that it was good. He looked at what he had created, and this is before man, and this is our plant life and our animal life, and we're going to focus on animal life today. So our verse today is, God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And I told you this is the story from Genesis chapter 1 and verse 31. So we're going to go over to our craft table now and look at ways that we can create animal puppets. So I have a large variety of animal puppets that I keep at the house all the time. If you have puppets, you can talk about the puppets and talk about their attributes. You know, what is similar between a porcupine and a bear? Do they eat the same thing? Do they both have fur? Do they both have ears? Do they have eyes? Let's look at what they have and learn more about them. You can look them up in encyclopedias or online. You've got the dogs and the cats. What are the similarities of dogs and cats? Do they eat the same thing? Do they both have fur? And so on. So we can do that with all these different animals. Here's our bear puppet. And this is one of the largest animals in North America. So he looks like a great big grizzly. And we use bears even as teddy bears, as cuddly things. But if you see one in real life, he's not somebody you're going to cuddle at all. So then you can make your own. If you don't have puppets, you can take a paper bag. So these are examples of paper bag puppets. We've made these at Sunday school and at Messy Church before. So it's just simply a lunch bag, and then you take the top half as, say, the cat, and underneath can be the tongue. And so when you put your hand inside of it, it looks like, it's talking. This animal is talking like this. So that's fun. So there's many different ones you can do. There's one that's a turtle, and of course an owl. So to make that, you do need a small bag, a small paper bag, and I put some glue out on, I save these tins, and then I just have to glue it down. So you can either check that the paper bag is going to open the right way for the face to be like this. And just take your paper, put a little bit of glue on it, like this. And we can cut one for the top too. I think I had a small piece cut. I did. I was going to cut this into more of a kind of a rounded shape for the face, like this. Okay. So this little piece can be glued on as well. Okay. So that fixes it on pretty quickly. And then if you have a marker, you can just put on the other attributes. I was thinking maybe a bee. So again, with a bee, we could take the black paper and make stripes on it. Let's take a couple. There we go. So the stripes fit across as best they can. And we'll put a little bit of glue on that. There it goes. A little bit of glue on this one. And you can do stripes all the way down. And you can also make some wings coming out the side with some paper. Maybe a different color would be nice. That would be fun. And just have your marker to make the eyes on it. So usually just great big eyes like this. Great big eyes. And a nice smile. And then you can make antenna or draw antenna for the bee. If you had pipe cleaner, that would work. And I was thinking, if you don't have any of these things to make puppets, you could just take something as simple as fruit, apples, things like that, and you can cut circles out of any color of paper to make eyes for them. and glue them on, or just use a pin to stick it on. Let's make a couple of eyes. Okay, and I'm going to make a circle on here on each eye. Put a little bit of glue on it, and this will make a face. And you can use this as a talking puppet too. You can add other things to it, but we have really simple things around that you can make really fun puppets and pretend that they're different animals and talk about creation that way. Okay, so I hope you have fun doing that. I'm going to end with this again from my Sunday school book when I was a child. Father, we thank thee for flowers that bloom about our feet. Father, we thank thee for tender grass so fresh and sweet. Father, we thank thee for song of bird and hum of bee, for all things fair we hear or see. Father in heaven, we thank thee. We thank thee for everyone. We thank thee for you. And we hope to see you next Sunday. So bye for now for Miss Ruth.